Hi, we just have a few people on, so I'm just going to wait a little bit until I have more people. Um, so, welcome and thank you for joining me. I am going to be going through our release and we'll see what happens. I've had a few technical issues today, so therefore we are going to just kind of work through them and do it this way for the month of November. And then from here on out, I promise you have two cameras so you can watch me make a couple of things and show you a little bit closer of what we were doing. So again, thank you. Let me know who's here. Just send me a little note in chat so I know who it is. Oh, hi, Tracy. How are you? I saw you did you live this morning. That's great. It was great. Thank you for that. And we'll talk. But yeah, well, I appreciate you even popping in. It's really nice. Um, yeah, it's the first live I've done. So I know you know that Tracy Schultz is not with us. Well, she's with us, but she's not on the team anymore. So we'll fill in the blanks here. So who else is here? I have a couple more people coming in. We're going to give it just one more minute, and then I'm going to start. I promise to keep this under an hour, well under an hour, and we'll just show you some artwork and some things that we've done and the new stamps, and we'll go from there. I have Dawn here moderating, so if you have a question for me during the video, please leave your question in full caps so that she can catch them and see them, and that helps us a lot. Oh, that's great, Tracy. That's we will talk about that because I will do them other times. I'd rather have you do that. So just know if you are in the live right now, there is a code. We're going to be showing the November new stamp release, and along with that, there is a code TJ10TJ that just lets me know that you came to us through a video. So the new stamps are 15% off. If you order something through our website from the new release, you will get that 15% automatically. The TJ10TJ is on top of that, and the proceeds and whatever comes in there will be split between the design team that I have currently. So that's not, I just thought I'd throw that out there. The other, so Tracy should know that too. And it probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but just so you know. The other thing is, if you are watching this and you send me an email with your email address to the name that's at the bottom of the screen, which is PHUNCROPPER@yahoo.com, you will be entered into a giveaway for a $30 gift certificate. And anybody who uses the TJ10TJ code will also get a free gift in their order. So I have a couple of things there. So I'm going to be repeating that a few times during the chat. So I have about 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to start, even though there's only a few people for the live people. Hi, how are you? Thanks for coming and watching. So again, we're going to be going through the new stamps, the new Technique Junkies stamps that just came out in November. And I'm going to just say this for the last time. I'm apologizing for the technical here, just showing me and not being able to split to a down screen this time. I promise you next time I do a live, you will be able to see me do that and to do some other fun things too. So let's get started. I'm just going to start because people are watching this not live too, hopefully, and we'll see that. So we released 12 new stamps in November, and of those 12 new stamps, we have several big ones and many of them that go together. So the first one I'm going to show you is Washed, which is washed out. Look at that. You can't even see it. Let me just remove this one. Maybe that'll help. Remove one of the lights here. Turn some of these down. It's a little better, I think. So can you see that? There we go. So it's washed, S945 washed. And what washed is it looks like it's watermarks that are washed. And there's a couple of, yeah, Tracy, I'm going to talk about that. in a second. I'll just do this real quick and then I'll talk about that because I did. Um, so it looks like something's been washed, soap suds that have been washed. That was my idea behind it. And when I came up with that, one of the things I really wanted to do was um, supplement it with um, this stamp, which is new made, and I'll read it to you since it's backwards. It says, I need a new maid because the current one sucks. Also, she's me. So I kind of don't like to clean, and that's where that came out of. But it does work really well with the washed stamp. So oh, these are terrible on this camera, and I apologize for that. Next time it will be right set up and better camera. Okay, so I actually envisioned those two together. So I made a couple of cards doing that. And then I want to talk about what my design team did because those girls are hella smart, really smart girls. So, hi, Melissa. This is one that I made using the I Need a New Maid with my Happy Housewife stamp. And the Happy Housewife stamp, I don't think I pulled it out, but that's who she is. She's grumpy. She's great for all kinds of grumpy women. But the wash stamp you can see in the background, it works perfectly with that. And just the little plunger in the sponge. When I was designing that word stamp, I kind of really had fun. There were so many things I could have put on there, but the plunger, that was the kicker for me. So I actually use her quite a bit. And then the other one I put her with is this one because this girl is all that and she needs a maid too. So this is from a stamp set called You've Got This, and it is actually a two-piece set. It comes with this cute little girl, and it comes with this the saying You've Got This. So I like to use her on a thing or two. And again, that wash stamp just works really perfectly with that, I think. So that is the washed and the new made with the little plunger there. So I want to show you a couple of things, talk about a couple of things. I realized after I developed that wash stamp that that stamp is pretty awesome with a lot of things. First of all, some of the girls used it with the New Year's stamp that's further on that it's just almost is totally celebration. I'm sorry, I keep looking down. My webcam's up there. It's kind of weird using an laptop doing this, but we're going to get through this together here. So on this one, I did this. Can you see the glitter on there? I think you can. I think the camera's picking it up as bad as it is. So I did this one in a glittery embossing powder. And this was from my stash. And what it is a zinnia, the zinnia stencil from a Colorful Life Designs that I did with the 24 karat diamonds in orange, the Aladdin, excuse me, Aladdin 24 carats in orange that I did this in, and I cut it out because I just think it was so pretty. But you can really see how it just kind of looks like a brush of glitter. Holly, one of my design team members, Holly Brown, took this washed stamp and she put different colors along it, almost to make it like a rainbow. It was awesome. But this other stamp, glitter is my signature color, which those of you who want to hold a mirror up to the screen, you could probably see that. But that is another one of the stamps that was released. And you can see it's a nice long stamp. For many of us, it's our signature color because we can't get away with it. It's all over our clothes and everything else. So those are those two stamps together. The other ones that, please feel free to ask any questions that you have. And we do struggle with tech gremlins, don't we? Marto. So this one, this is that same glitter stamp. And with this one, this is called Cubes. It's also from a Colorful Life Design Stencils. I don't know that I have this available on my website now, but it will be. And if you're interested in it, I can put it up there. If anybody's interested, put it in the notes. It is so sparkly, isn't it, Melissa? And this is also the Nouveau. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. This is also the Aladdin Diamonds. Look, my new face. I have a new face here. My Aladdin Diamonds in the background on that. And you see how neat and clean those go on. They're really a beautiful product. But again, the glitter is my signature color. It doesn't go better than that. So it is very sparkly. Okay, so I'm just going to say this real quick before I move on because Tracy mentioned this. Yes, I did lose 25 pounds. I did it through Noom. And it is a work in progress. I'm about halfway to where I want to be, but I have so much more energy. I feel so much better, and hopefully I'll live a lot longer. That was my main thing, maybe living long enough to keep up with my younger husband, who should be watching this. Are you here, honey? Send me a little note, though. Love note if you are. Anyways, I'm working on it, but yes, part of my bum oven is gone, but it still works. All right, so let's just move on. If you don't know what a bum oven is, you need to watch me more because I talk about it a lot, and I do it at trade shows too. So, okay, so your bum oven is this. If you have something that is curled, a piece of cardstock that has a curl to it or curve to it, and you want to make that cardstock nice and flat, I'm trying to find one on my desk that's curved, but there isn't anything right now. If you want to make that nice and flat, what you do is you stick it between your leg and your thigh and the chair, your thigh and the chair, and you sit on it, and that's your bum oven. So there you go. That's your bum oven. I still have a very strong one, and that's why I'm working on that other 30 pounds. Okay, so let's move on. The next thing I would like to show you is this, which is the beaded curtain. So originally I had planned on releasing this stamp with the retro stamps I did last Christmas. So if you go back and look at the retro stamps in my collection, my retro Christmas stamps, they are very much like this, which does have a little bit of a retro feel to it. But the other thing this is good for, think of that in glitters. And if you are familiar with the Technique Junkie website, and you go to the actual stamp set and you click on more images, it will show you a plethora of images showing you how to do everything. So I'm glad, Melissa. I'm glad I talked to something there. Anyways, so that's good for this. I had a design team member, Darlene, and she usually sends me most of her cards. I didn't get this one, so it's probably kept it. It's really nice. So it on the individual big dots, she put pearls on each one. It is so pretty, but it is on my website, so I encourage you to go take a look at that because that is a beautiful piece of art. But I'm just going to show you two that I did with it. One, and then we'll go on to the next one. Sorry, let me turn away from the camera. So on this one, I just took. I'm sorry for the glare. Let's see if I can get this down. So is that better, Dawn? Hi, Sabrina. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so on this one, I took Versamark and I put it all over, and then I added different colors of embossing powder over the top of that. So I have some browns on there, I have some gold on there, I have some silver on there, and okay. All right, so bronze, gold, silver on there, and you can really see how it, if I show you, you can really see how it really stands out with that. It's just a different way of doing it. And then I did the same thing with the sentiment on top. The short girls look so sweet and cute until you piss them off. So I have to explain, I am 5 feet 10 inches tall. I'm a tall girl, so we just look mean all the time. But I do have many short friends, and I have one in particular that this card is going to because she's a fireball. She is fierce. So I think short girls are fierce. So that's what these are made for, all of you fierce girls. So that's why I came up with this one. So again, I did the same thing here. I did it in Versamark, and then I put different colors of embossing powder over it, tapped it off, and then heat embossed it. So that's how I got that effect on that one. So I'm going to show you, we'll get to it. I do use the beaded curtain again on other projects, but we'll get to that. I'm just going to show you one more short girls. And obviously I use that zinnia stencil again. I have a thing about that stencil. I just think it makes the prettiest backgrounds for cards. But these are when I was selling foiling for a while. We were doing the foiling with the Transfer Gel Duo. So I made those with this, and you can see I cut that out. I kind of cheated because I wanted to put them in specific places. And then I just did her in heat embossing. So that's the simplicity of that card. The other thing is, I'm going to show you a little mistake I made on this. I'll show you what I did to fix it. So when I was heat embossing this, I have misplaced my my pad that you go over, my anti-static pad. I misplace everything. I'm a hot mess sometimes. Anyways, I misplaced that pad, and I had gotten some of the embossing kind of drifted a little bit because I couldn't find that pad. So I took my mono eraser. So I don't know if you've seen these mono erasers. I just got enough to put them in the store. I've been buying them and just kind of consuming them. I have them everywhere because I don't want to lose it like my anti-static pad. I literally have 3 of these on my desk. So I don't know how we get rid of that person. Does anybody know? I use it on this channel. There we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, so nope, we don't want to do that. All right, so anyways, I just took the mono eraser and I erased off the extra embossing. These things are awesome for $3.75, and it will last you a lifetime. So there's rubber on one side and there is sand on the other. Also, if you get ink spots, if you get fingerprints, I'm using these all the time, and I should show you this more in my regular YouTube videos, but I do use this an awful lot. This is a great little product, this mono eraser. So just thought I'd show you that because you do get a little bit of it. You can just see kind of a little bit here and there of it. So there's that. It's okay, Don. I can do it from my end. I will figure that out. Don is my friend. Don, who does trade shows with me, is online trying to help me out with questions or get rid of people like that. So we're working on it. Again, we're a work in progress. So that's the short girls. That's a couple of things with the short girls. So next up, I would like to show you the Starry Happy New Year. So I don't send out a lot of New Year's cards, but I do send them out sometimes if I sorry, I will do that right now. Bear with me. Okay, Don, you can fix things now. All right, so I do send them out sometimes if I don't get all the Christmas cards out. If somebody falls off my list, or my Christmas cards go out late, or sometimes it's nice to be able to say Happy New Year. Or I'm not sure if somebody is religious, or they're not religious and they don't really celebrate Hanukkah. This Happy New Year is a great thing to have. Plus, it's also nice if you're going to do. It's also nice. I'm reading those comments, girls. You're too funny. It's also nice if you're going to do an invitation or just to wish somebody a Happy New Year. I also scrapbook, so I will use this in my scrapbook for Happy New Year. So Melissa, that's why I take Dawn with me, because she makes me laugh all the time. That's why she goes to trade shows with me. So, okay. Next, what we have is some cards made with it. So the first one I want to show you is the Happy New Year card with the beaded curtain. This is what I was looking for before. So on this card, I took Tulian Pink Shimmering Bliss. This is Dolphin Cove Shimmering Bliss. I made a background. I let it dry. And then I stamped the beaded curtain into that. You can stamp into Shimmering Bliss. I do recommend that you use some sort of positioning tool, because the first time you stamp, if you don't set the Shimmering Bliss with like hairspray, first time you stamp, it might lift up the Shimmering Bliss, the mica on it. Then you have to re-ink and redo it again, and then they will stamp personally. I'm sorry, they'll stamp perfectly. I have to stop looking at Dawn's comments because she will make me laugh. All right, so that is the Happy New Year on that one. I just added some sequins. I found some star sequins to embellish it with. It's just a nice little card. And second, again, a foiled background. This time I used the Colorful Life Designs Showy Blooms stencil, and I actually wanted to have some glitter back here. So I had a piece of glitter tape and I just put it around the edges to create a background for that piece. Oh, you are your 5'1". Oh, it's perfect for you. Anyways, are you a chipmunk with rabies? That's the question, though. So this just is foiled with rainbow foil in the background and then over the top. And because the background was so busy, I didn't really want to go crazy with the foreground. So there you go. And next, I'm going to show you this one because when I made this stamp, my thought was teenagers or young people who, there's so many people out there trying to find themselves right now. And I just thought that this particular stamp is a great encouragement stamp. People who are finding themselves, starting new jobs, working towards achieving greater things. So believe you were born to achieve great things. I just think it's a really nice sentiment to send to people. And at $6.95, it's a nice little thing. So when I made this one, I tried to make the tiger far enough away from the words so that you could ink them separately. So that's what I did here. It will be, right, Sabrina? So what I did here, yeah, right. Somebody sing the Eye of the Tiger in the background. Too bad we can't hear you. You do not want me singing. Trust me. Yeah, we do, right? All right. So on this one, I know it's a little crazy, but I wanted so I actually stamped this in two separate stamps. So I used black on one side, I just put orange on that side, and I didn't do anything else to it. I didn't cover it. The background, can anybody guess what the background of this card is? Take a quick look. Let me see what it is. If Mary Kay's on, she'll know. Roses, yeah. I use the cluster of roses, but the reason I use this, I was hoping, and I hope you got this by me doing it, was that these areas here that have more of a stripe to them, that they looked more like tiger stripes. Does it work? You think it works? Or do they just look like roses and I should toss the card? That's the question. Sometimes you have to toss a card. Anyways, this next, it works. Thanks, Tracy. I appreciate the thumbs up on that one. Thanks, Dawn. All right, so this one, again, I used the Born to Achieve Great Things, and I just took a little water. I stamped them all in black, and then I did some watercoloring over the tiger, just in orange, just to get that orange and black feel. The background, and it's washing out here. I think you probably, if you go online and you look, or if you watch the video on Friday where I show all of the artwork that the design team and I created, you're going to see that it's much more orangey. What I did in the background is I sprayed Shimmering Bliss and Festive Flamingo and just squeezed the two oranges. And then yes, Elizabeth, I can do that. I'm sorry, I didn't do that before. I will take it out of the packaging. And then I stamped the Milky Way. I didn't stamp. I put the Milky Way stencil over the top, and then I inked black ink through the Milky Way stencil. And it turns out kind of gray the way I did it. I didn't do it as strongly as I probably should. So that's a Milky Way stencil in the background. Hey, hi, Mary Kay. Look at you. You see your stencil there in the background? So that is how we got that background down there. I just wanted something that was kind of strong and interesting. So I find this stencil pretty strong and interesting. I was just showing Mary Kay from A Colorful Life Designs is on. And did you see this one? With the roses in the background, I was trying to create tiger stripes a little bit. So, all right, so that is that. So let's go on to the next one. And I'm more than halfway done, so it's a good thing. Oops, took the stamp out of the packaging. So how's that, Elizabeth? Better? So there is no glare there. So now we have the Holly Bouquet SD1177. And I love this stamp. I have a thing about stamps like this. So a little bit about this stamp that I really liked is that when I stamped this, sometimes stamps like this that you think that they need more than they do. So when I stamped that stamp, you see that clearly, or is that washed out? Is that a little washed out? I did it normally. Oh, I think I moved it because it's one of my Christmas cards. Hold on a second. I'm making this as one of my Christmas cards. Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right. So when I stamped it, all I did was stamp that in an evergreen color. And then I took colored pencils. And I just took a couple of colors of colored pencils. So I took colored pencils down here, 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 and on up here. And just went over some of the green with the colored pencils. And this could not be easier, but it's really quite effective. You see that? I just colored it just lightly with colored pencils. The bottom of this one, and this is popped. This is dimensional, this card. But the bottom of this is Gifts of Christmas, which is our classic Christmas stamp set. So if you've not seen that before, this is what this one looks like. This is Gifts of Christmas. This has been around for a while. This is not, this you can get for 10% off. And it's probably the most popular Christmas stamp I have, or stamp set that I have, the Gifts of Christmas. The words are pretty classic in it. I use it every year. It seems I use it every year, just because I think the font was a win on that. I'm a sucker for a scripty font when it comes to Christmas. I don't know if anybody else has that too. Right, Don? Don't you use it a lot? But I really love it with a delicate holly bouquet. It looks like it's hard to do, but it's so simple. And you could do the same thing with markers. You could just take a green, a red, a brown marker and just finish it off quick. So that's that one. I used it again a second time on this card. So is it better if I hold it up this way or just hold it up? I think probably just holding it up is fine. But this card, I used it as corner border. So I just tilted it each way. Literally, I put it in my MISTI. I stamped it. I turned the card 180 degrees and I stamped it again. And then I just used the same colored pencils to color this, except for that I used a red glitter pen, and I'm looking on my desk for it, but it's not easily accessible. So I'm just going to tell you, I used a red glitter pen for some of the accents on the berries. So the berries are accented in red. And this one uses the, take it out for Elizabeth. All right, this one uses one of the sentiments from the scripted holiday set of 6, which came out last month. And again, this was released last month, so you're going to get 10% off of that with the TJ stamp code. And don't forget, you just tuned in, TJ10 TJ stamp code will get you 10% off of anything that's not a new release. And the new release stuff, when you put it in your basket up through November 8th, is going to be 15% off. And you will get a free gift if you use TJ10 TJ with your stuff. All right, so let's move on. I'm determined to keep to that 1 hour or less time frame. I know you all are busy, and I appreciate you being with me here. Okay, so this is a sentiment from W.E.B. Du Bois. And I love this sentiment. I just think it says so much about women empowerment. And I mean, really, you can't stop us once we get going, women. So that's where this came from. And I have been looking for a way to use that on a stamp for years. And when I saw that silhouette stamp, I thought, that silhouette image, I thought it would be really good with it. So I used it in 2 ways. I used it here, which this, I don't know if you can see the dimension on that. You see the dimension on this, that's not white, that's a paste. That's a old paste that I have. And again, this is a stencil in the background with that texture paste. And Mary Kay, correct me if I'm wrong. I do, Ladybug. Okay, so this particular background, I think it's called Fancy Flourishes. Mary Kay, correct me if I'm wrong. It's one of your stencils, but it is just texture paste that I've had in my stock forever. The top part was sprayed with Shimmering Bliss spray, and then I stamped the stamp into it in black. So she's got a pretty shimmer on top and some dimension on the bottom. Hi, Holly. Thanks for being here. Hi, Dee. Thanks for being here. The other thing I did with that stamp is this, and I was cleaning and I found my glitter tape. So I love glitter tape. So I used some glitter tape just to give it the background some oomph. And I popped her up and I took that same glitter tape and I just went around the edge so I could create like background paper with it without having to cover the whole thing. So that is how I created her. And also, again, I did the same thing on this one that I did with the other one where, sorry, I put her back together, but I stamped her on this one in blue, and on the other side of the stamp I did pink. So I got a double coloring there. I tried to make her far enough apart on the stamp where you didn't have to come apart or do anything with that. So that's how that one came about. So next we have Eat, Drink, and Be Thankful. I mean, you know, it's a great Thanksgiving stamp and a great thankful stamp. And my design team used this in so many fun ways. Tracy, if you're still on, Flamboyant Flourishes. Thank you, Mary Kay. Tracy, if you're still on, I loved the card Tracy did with this and the tea time collage, which I will show you. But I love this. It's so easy to use. If you want to cut out the eat, drink, it cuts out beautifully because it's very straight, even lines. So since Mary Kay is still on, I'm going to show you the first one that I did with this, which uses the leaf set one. It's been out for a couple of years. I use this a lot, hence its embedded glitter, and I use it a lot. That's a well-loved stencil. I could clean it off, but I never seem to have time. So on this one, I just used Catherine Pooler inks, and I ink blended the inks through the stencil in 3 different colors. I just used green, orange, and yellow, and to create that background, which is one of my favorite techniques to do. I think really ink blending. The Catherine Pooler inks really hold up well. They're very colorful. Just a great ink. So I love them. So that is the Eat, Drink, and Be Thankful on that one. And on this one, this is just card front, but I used craft paper, and I took the Eat, Drink, and Be Thankful stamp and stamped it in orange on craft. But then on my background, which is, you don't want to see that, take the stamp out, not the paper. On that one, I did the Woodland Wonders stamp that was released last year or the year before, which has all those fun little foresty animals on it. And to make this, I direct a stamp in 3 colors to get the 3 colors there. And if I turn that, can you see the shimmer in the background? I used Dazzle Topper, Shimmering Bliss Topper in the background. It is it just gives everything that pretty little shimmer right over the top. I did not use it on the top stamp. I did use it on the bottom. If you're going to use a topper over a dye ink, you want to make sure that dye ink is nice and dry so that you don't get any mushiness on the ink. It doesn't start to bleed, which is probably why when I made this originally, I didn't put it on the top, just because I probably didn't have time. So that is that stamp. I also used it one more time on this. So the background of this is an old stamp set that I had called Happiness is Homemade. And Happiness is Homemade has canning jars on it. It's got fruit on it. And it's got a couple of really cool sentiments. I haven't put it away yet. If anybody wants to see that, I will pull that out for you so that you can see that stamp set. But that's what this has behind it. And this card, I can't tell you, I really just, I don't know if I can pull this off. No, I can't pull it off, sorry. So, but this card, again, I just took a couple of different swipes of the brand new Catherine Pooler browns, and I swiped them across the card and then just stamped the images over the top to create a background. So you want to see the background stamp with the bear? Sure. So this is the Woodland Wonders stamp background. I know when we released this last year, and again, this would be 10% off with that TJ10TJ if you put this in your shopping cart too. And don't forget, I'm giving a free gift to everybody who uses that code tonight or tomorrow or in the next couple of days. But this bear is really easy to cut out. The fox is easy to cut out. If you like to fussy cut, it's got some fun images here that can be cut out and added to your cards. I know my team did that last year. So I don't know why you don't have it. I think you need it. Remind me that you don't have it next time. Okay, so moving on. Next up, we have All About Winter. Okay, so I'm going to confess to you that we have more of these word stamps coming down the pike. I just really love them as a background. I just think that they're so versatile, and they just kind of throw the whole idea out there. This is all winter. So, you know, you're going to get the winter feel. And the other thing is, you can actually cut the winter out of there and just take the winter and use that on a card. Some of the other ones you could cut, or you could selectively ink this. So that was my feeling on doing these. I have one coming for St. Valentine's Day. I have one coming for St. Patrick's Day, one coming for spring, and then maybe one for the 4th of July if you are not sick of them by that point. But I did one for autumn, and it was a pretty big hit. So I will be doing a tutorial with this one coming up. I have an idea for it, which sometimes happens. So I'll be doing a tutorial for that one. Etiquette, of course. So I have to tell you that I really love this card that I made with it, which is, again, 3 inks, very easy. Just put a ribbon around it. It's done. It's a really easy card to make. I tried to put it under the winter sentiment, but I think I'm going to add a sentiment to this before I turn it into a finished product. I don't think this is finished enough, but you get the idea. I probably should have sprayed that too, but I didn't. All right, so this one, I am like all of you. That discount, hi Beth, that discount code is TJ10TJ, capital T, capital J, 10, capital T, capital J. So Don, I'll put that up for you again. Thanks for coming in. All right, so I'm just like all of you. I create things that I think I like. Not 100% sure I like. You have an idea, you create the idea. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's, okay. So this is one of those. So I have to, I'm not in love with this. I probably shouldn't even show you this, but I wanted to show how you could use the, I stamped the background, and then over the background, I used Aladdin Ice in pink and in black, and to create a really quick coloring on this background. I'm going to recreate this in another video so that you can see how pretty this was before I ruined it with all the other stuff on top of it, because it really does make a pretty cool background. Just kind of ruined it by adding all that fluff to it, but it's just a card, just paper. But I just wanted to show it to you so you could see what the Aladdin Ice looks like in that way. All right, so since I have a few of you on and you've been watching me for a little bit, I have a question to ask you. Yes, you can say that, Don. I love them too, obviously. Do you prefer face like this, or do you prefer camera down? You're not going to hurt my feelings. The only reason we're face up, I usually don't like to show my face, but the only reason we're face up is because this is my first live and I had technical issues, and I will have them solved before I do another live. But do you prefer face up, or do you prefer camera down so I can stamp and show you camera down? Just let me know in the comments, and I appreciate your feedback on that. So this is, you like that, Elizabeth? Okay. What I really want to do is do face. I want to do picture in picture so I can show you face and talk to you while I'm creating at the same time. That's the ideal. So that's what I'm shooting for. I just have to get a little bit more equipment. It's, I'm 60-some years old. I'm still learning how to do things just like everybody else in this world. So we'll get better at it. All right. So this is tea collage. This is, I kind of want to say it's my favorite one from the whole release. I am a winter tea drinker. I don't really drink it in the summertime other than iced tea, but I am a winter tea drinker. So this kind of just speaks to my warm and cozy soul. The tea and the lemon and the cinnamon and all the spices and the tea leaves and tea bags. So my design team very creatively have taken some of the sentiments we have, the smaller sentiments, and put them on this tea bag here, which I thought was just really smart, really quite cool. So I love this, and you can color this or not color it, whatever you use it as background, whatever you do with it, it just turns out really stunning. It stamps extremely strong. So isn't it, Holly? It's a good get well stamp. You're right. Tracy, thanks for coming in. Thank you. I appreciate that. So maybe when I'm doing a live tutorial, I will start up, go down, but maybe when I'm doing this, it's fine. We'll see. All right, so let me show you a couple tea cards because I kind of went a little crazy with that. This is actually the last stamp set because there's only a dozen this month because we're kind of in a November month in a recession. So doing a whole bunch of them doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I did it 3 ways. I took the tea and I embossed it in bronze in the background, and then I found these fun little alphabet metal things for my stash. Remember, I've been a scrapbooker longer than I've been a stamper, so I have many scrapbooking supplies. So I just kind of took it from my stash. It's a pretty little thing. I think you lose the idea of the teacup a little bit by embossing it like that, which is why I'm not a big one doing that. But then I took and I colored it with colored pencils, and this is just Warmest Wishes. It's a single stamp, $2.95. It's inexpensive. Warmest Wishes, which again, it's me thinking that tea is warm and cozy. That's just what I like to do. Holly, you did some interesting things with this too, did you not? And I know Tracy did, but so that is my tea card there. And then finally, I did my old ink blending trick. Now this one, I did not go direct to paper. I ink blended this with the ink blending brushes that I have. I have a set of 12 and a set of 10. They're colorful. Let me see if I can pull one out here. They're behind you here. Oh, I'm gonna stand up, sorry. All right, so they are what brushes. They're nice and colorful. But so many of these have nice color to them. I like them because I can grab a brush and I know what color I'm picking up. Now all the colors in the rainbow are not in there, but there's enough where I'm comfortable where I'm not going to pick up a brush and think it's got blue on it and it's got green. I do wipe my brushes off on paper towels before I use them, just to make sure, but before I put it in ink. So, but this one I just ink blended 3 different colors. I did not do direct to paper, but it could be. I mean, these inks blend like a charm. And again, such an easy card. It's just ink blending with stamping on top of it, and the just a note. I'll put this out. The just a note sentiment from the your vintage. Just a note sentiment that was released in I think September or August. That's what that is from. That's a great little 4-piece. You know, for $13.95, you're getting 4 stamps, and they're all pretty nice size sentiments too. So that is our release this month. I encourage you to watch the video I do on Friday that shows you all of the different things that the design team did. And I welcome any questions about the release or anything about anything you see here, or anything else to do with Technique Junkies or tips that you want or anything else. Anybody have anything that you want to ask? Talk about? No? Okay. So I appreciate you stopping by today and spending a little time with me. Thank you, Melissa. I think it's nice too. It's you know, it doesn't have a lot of times I go for that big overwhelming theme, and I didn't this time. So please send me your email address. I am picking a for a $30 gift certificate out of the email address. Actually, let me see if I can Let's see who I have here. Have you girls all done it? Is there anybody who's online who has not sent me their email address? Okay. Well, give me 1 second. I can pick it right now since you're online, and I can tell you if you won. Hold on 1 second. So there were only 10 of you on the live. There were only 10 of you on the live, so I am actually going to wait and give other people. They're not loading, but these emails aren't loading in here. I just want to make sure that all of you who did do this did send. Make sure you send me an email to that email address, phuncropper@yahoo.com. And I am giving away a $30 gift certificate to people who watched the live, who send it. And you'll get an email telling you won, and you never know what else you're going to get in the email. So again, if you order tonight or tomorrow and you use that capital T, capital J, 10, capital T, capital J code, I will put a free gift in with your order. So thank you for watching my first release live, and I will see you this weekend with some additional artwork from the design team and possibly a tutorial later this week also. So I will see you next time. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye now. Okay, so